This is it, Wolfpack, the big kahuna of Twilight Zone tales. A Kind of Stopwatch is one of the most legendary namesays of the Twilight Zone for its brilliantly creative concept, grim twist ending, and the groundbreaking storytelling aiding this show and TV in general to reach new heights. So, what does this cynical kitten have to say? Yeah, it was aight. Don't worry, I did like this one like most do, but I don't quite agree that it's this show's masterwork like Maple Street or A Game of Pool were. But let's explain that backstory first. This episode follows an obnoxiously annoying Dorkosaurus named Patrick McNulty, a larger-than-life loser who wishes that people would pay him attention and respect him. However, he is so whiny that people can't stand being around him, causing him to lose even more attention than the little he had. He's so irritating he makes Rob Schneider look like Christian Bale. Patrick's so hated that he eventually loses his job after he annoys his coworkers for so long, and he even causes an entire bar to run away when he spends his days there jibber-jabbering on and on about his sad life and how nobody loves him. Fortunately, one drunk at the pub takes pity on the guy and gives him a gift. A stopwatch. A very special kind of stopwatch, which has the power to freeze time. The drunk stranger is a vague figure who we don't know too much about, but the episode subtly hints that he's a time traveler of some kind, since he quotes phrases which nobody uses anymore. He's quite the unique enigma for such a minimal role, but he does add that Twilight Zone mystery, which makes this tale definitely more magical. I was kind of sad we didn't know much about this guy, since you'd think he'd deliver a moral or something later. But once he gives away the watch, he's gone. My best guess is that the stranger's really Doctor Who, trying to drink away the painful Jodie Whittaker memories. But back to the plot, Patrick discovers that the stopwatch really is magic, as he can freeze the universe, and only the person holding the watch is safe from pause mode. With this power, McNulty uses it to pull some pranks on the people who are rude to him. Yep, this is a decent chunk of the episode. Patrick basically pauses time to troll folks for not liking him.
No problem, man. I'm an asshole.
Ordinarily in these types of stories, Patrick would undeniably be a villain protagonist, or maybe even an idiot bully. But surprisingly, there is a genuine attempt to flesh him out by making him a deeper character. There's a pretty subtle scene in the middle of the tale where, after annoying the entire bar again to the point of sending them off, the bartender calls out Patrick on how he doesn't want to be liked by everyone. He just wants to be noticed. How the real reason folks can't stand him is because he's not a likable guy to hang with, since he always hogs the spotlight. But Patrick naturally fails to acknowledge this. That's actually a pretty insightful perspective over a guy who's the usual jerk character. There's a shockingly large amount of time dedicated to the character instead of his power. I like how this protagonist is kind of similar to the dude from A Piano in the House, where you can't tell if you hate him or pity him by the end. It definitely leaves you thinking when the tale is over. I do also think this show's production does a marvelous job at the time freeze effects. These moments where the actors stand still while Patrick strolls around them are magnificent. There's no digital effects or still frames here, folks. The real actors seriously did stand perfectly still as the main lead acted around them. That is remarkable. While the Twilight Zone did have its hokey schlock, there were some astounding visuals like this, which do hold up super well today. I love it. Of course, you know the real reason why this episode is fondly looked back at is the premise. The magic time artifact pausing the world and giving a character the ability to traverse normal time is a concept that has been used, parodied, and explored for many years to come. A kind of stopwatch does the bare minimum job at this, as most of this episode shows off the cool concepts before Patrick truly gets crazy with his endless possibilities. It isn't until literally the final act where Patrick realizes, hey, I can do more than just punk morons, when he uses the watch to rob a bank. But, oh no, he accidentally drops the timer, breaking it as well as time itself.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs!
This leads us to the other most memorable part of the story, the dark twist ending. Patrick permanently paused all of time, and now he's the sole person still alive in the universe, with no hope of fixing his error. Get it? All Patrick ever wanted was people to pay attention to him and be important. But now, no one can pay attention to him since he was the man who doomed all life.
Irony!
I totally believe that this grim finale is easily one of this show's scariest endings, since it closes on all life frozen forever, and the main character is doomed to die alone, stuck in the mess he made. And yes, this twist ending did inspire Goosebumps' Click, The Simpsons, and even the Futurama finale. What can you say, but the Twilight Zone made history. Heck, there was even a remake of this episode, but we'll get to that another day. As for the classic episode, I will say that it's got some flaws, such as dragging out the prank spree for a bit too long, but overall, this is a nice record breaker. It's got a very entertaining lead, visually nifty effects, a horrifying twist, excellent use of fridge horror, a timeless moral on not being egotistical, and naturally, an epic sci-fi premise. So I can reward this tale a gold skull. Sadly, I don't view it as platinum perfect, but I do believe it's so enjoyable that you'll definitely want to stop and watch this.
It's about time you showed up.
The Twilight Zone.